Hi, how you doing today? And welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia chapter 275 and 276. Some crazy stuff has been going on and I've missed talking about the last one, but this chapter especially was real crazy, so I need to talk about what's been going on in My Hero Academia. The way 275 starts is that Shigaraki is talking about how he understands the quirk now, and how basically unlocking the quirk is like a cheat code to him. Like, he understands the mechanics of the quirk, and so he's understanding what search is. And the fact that search is a pretty powerful quirk, as it enables you to find people and tells them their weaknesses. So Shigaraki, if Shigaraki wasn't broken enough, I think I keep on saying this in all of my videos, but Shigaraki is ridiculously broken, let's just say that. Then what was really deep was the artwork for the cover page of the chapter, which is Aizawa with a cat. And for anybody who's read My Hero Academia Vigilantes, you'll understand why that is so deep. For anybody who hasn't read Vigilantes, all I'm going to say is it relates to Aizawa and Shirakumo, and at some point Present Mike. So seeing Aizawa with a cat was just really deep, and yeah, it's kind of emotional. So I see how Horikoshi is blending the two mangas together, and it's pretty crazy. So Deku is talking to Endeavor and giving the lowdown about why Shigaraki is following him, but he hasn't really told Endeavor why he's following him, which obviously makes sense, it's a super huge secret. And Deku and Bakugo are basically trying to evacuate from all the civilians and try and find a safe place so that, you know, Shigaraki will be drawn out of the city and not cause so much damage to, you know, the city and civilians. But then what's really crazy is how Shigaraki is just jumping about, right? So Shigaraki jumps, and it took me a while to understand the way he landed. It seems like he landed on his face and his body was just like, like, if you know how when a deer is trying to learn to walk for the first time, and you know, it just moves its legs and it slips and slides. That's how I thought Shigaraki looked at that point. Now that I look at it again, it seems like Shigaraki was putting his head to the ground to just look for Deku and Bakugo. Well, actually, he was looking for one for all, to be honest with you. But the way he just maneuvered and jumped with speed to the next location to go and find Deku and Bakugo, man, this guy is strong. Like, I feel, oh my god, seeing Shigaraki animated at this point is going to be so sick. And it's funny because Endeavor's still trying to chase up to Shigaraki, but Shigaraki doesn't even care. He's like, man, I just want to get one for all. I don't care about you. At this point, he sees Endeavor communicating with Deku and Bakugo, and he's just said, like, this is so annoying, I want to get rid of these guys. And he uses an air blast quirk, which I believe All For One used when he was fighting against All Might. Actually, I think he used that against Best Genius to knock him out. So yeah, that air force quirk, or an air wave quirk. So he has a radio wave quirk as well. Flipping OP. So he has a radio wave quirk, and he decides to basically jam their communication so that they are not able to communicate with each other, and they're, you know, in disrupt. And he finds Deku and Bakugo. At this point, I'm like, holy crap. You should know by now that most of the times I'll be talking about this manga, I'll be saying holy crap or oh my days, because this arc has been straight heat, and it continues to be heat. And I haven't even gotten to 276 yet. That's even better. But before that happens, right, Deku and Bakugo has this moment whereby Deku and Bakugo are, you know, trying to run away from and draw Shigaraki, but at this point, when Bakugo is saying that, oh, only I could be the one that can go follow you because I know your secret and all that, Deku's like, oh wow, like, you know, you're really doing this for me, like, thanks dude. Like, he's thinking this is an amazing development, but Bakugo's like, nah G, stop it, you're not the main character of this story. I love it when they do stuff like that. But anyway, he says, do you really think that you're the main character of this story? Nah, I'm coming to get Shigaraki because I'm the one that ended All Might, and he was the reason for it, so I'm gonna get him. Like, I love that. I love the fact that Bakugo has a reason to go and get Shigaraki, not just because Deku is Shigaraki's foil or because Shigaraki is the ultimate bad guy, but he actually has a personal vendetta for Shigaraki, so it will make it so much better when he's fighting against Shigaraki, especially in the future arcs. So that's really cool. I'm really glad Horikoshi did that. Also, it's pretty cool how Bakugo is starting to understand how powerful Deku is, even though he kind of did already, to be honest with you. Actually, he did already, but he realizes that he actually has to keep up because Deku is real strong right now. And now we got insight into more of what percentage Deku is able to use of One For All. Deku's able to use 30% fully and 45% if he pushes his limits. So I was wrong when I thought he did an air kick 45% calm. It seems like it did actually put a strain on his body, but it's cool to know that Deku is not like ridiculously overpowered right now. And it makes sense, I guess. But my only question is now, because the green form, like, you know, the 100% infinite, what he used with Eri, is meant to be 100% One For All, I'm trying to understand what quirks will be available at 100%, you know? So that's still another discussion we can have, but I like the fact that he's actually only at 30% and he's not at like the broken level. But anyway, to get back to the point at hand, Bakugo's like, nah G, I cannot be a loser. He stated that he cannot stay a loser, and that is pretty deep, that Bakugo of all people would admit that he's losing because he understands how powerful Deku is. He understands that, listen, this guy is going to be the top hero one day, I need to up my game. So I love the fact he's just pushing himself, and this is one of the reasons why Bakugo is a great character in general. Like, he's always wanting to push himself and be the best version of himself he could possibly be. So anyway, back to when Shigaraki found Deku and Bakugo and the holy S moment happened. Deku and Bakugo, well, Deku mainly, has that flashback to when All For One's presence first came on the scene and he realized that his presence is giving me death vibes. But in this one, it was pretty cool because they got death vibes, yeah, but these death vibes are like them crumbling to pieces. Like, they just knew they were getting flat out killed if they go near this man. Luckily, before Shigaraki touches them, Gran Torino comes in, saves them, and lets them know that, listen, you are nowhere near his level. And thank you for saying that, Gran Torino, because I thought these guys were going to be cocky and think, oh, we can probably take him. Nah, you can't. And Gran Torino now gives a speech and tells them, listen, this is the time for the heroes to rise up. Like, heroes have not given up yet. This is why I love My Hero Academia, man. Heroes don't give up. They're just coming back. They're like, no, the heroes do not give up. We're coming to save the day. And at this point, Ryukyu goes to fight Shigaraki, and I was like, all right, cool, you're getting crumbled. Like, it's Shigaraki, don't go up against this man. And Shigaraki touches her, and he's like, whoa, I'm not crumbling you, what's going on? Only to find out that Eraserhead has used his quirk, Erasure, on Shigaraki. And I love the callback that Shigaraki does where he says, oh, Eraserhead, you really are a cool guy. And he said this in, well, season 1, so the USJ attack, when Eraserhead was first like erasing hella quirks left, right, center. He was like, ooh, Eraserhead, you're quite a cool guy. So it was a really nice callback. At this point, Aizawa was like, listen, I cannot let these kids die. Like, this guy is going after this guy. And Shield Hero, Crust and Shirakumo has given me a chance to live for the sake of, you know, the future of the Hero Society. I cannot let this chance waste, and I cannot let Bakugo and Deku die. Like, it's just not possible. So yeah, that's when 275 ends, and we're gonna go on to 276. Now, 276 answered some serious questions that I've been thinking, right? First things first, right? The beginning of the chapter starts with a chopper coming in, and I was like, finally, like, this is My Hero Academia. Usually when some big thing is going down, there's news to report it. Like, there's always a helicopter somewhere reporting this crazy stuff that's going down. Where are they? They finally got them, and now they're broadcasting the destruction to everyone around the Hero Society, and they're letting everybody know that, listen, this is the most craziest destruction or the craziest battleground we've seen ever. Like, even more than Deka City. Like, Deka City was peak when you think about it. Like, when you look at the destruction of Deka City, what Shigaraki did was a madness. Now this is worse than Deka City. Like, bro, like they're just all like, what is going on with our society? And I love the fact they even stated that like attacks have been going on and on and on. Like, what is going on to this society? What is happening? Like, these are stuff that, you know, people should be thinking about, right? So Shigaraki gets his phone and he just says, kill every person you see. And I'm like, right? Luckily it's not, but we'll get to that later. And then Endeavor has a sidekick called Kido, and what Kido does is he elevates, or I think he expands Endeavor's power, or he changes his directory. I think no, he changes his directory so that Endeavor is able to just shoot up quicker and just maneuver better, essentially. What's cool as well is that heroes are working together and use their quirks together in order to fight Shigaraki. As I already stated, Endeavor and Kido did their team up, but then Manual is helping Endeavor with his eyes, because you know Endeavor's drawback of his quirk is the fact that he cannot use his quirk for long periods of time because it gives him dry eyes. I mean, that's hilarious then, but now it's pretty cool now because Manual is using his water quirk in order to soften his eyes so that he doesn't get dry eye and he can keep Shigaraki at bay. At this point, you'd think Shigaraki would be scared and looking at Aizawa leaving his quirk erased for a while and Endeavor coming at full force to come and get him. Absolutely not. He's smiling. When you see a guy who's lost his quirk smiling, something's up. I think you should back the hell away because he's having fun. He's not even scared at all. Even like Endeavor's prominence burn, I think that's what he used. Shigaraki just puts his hand out like that and he's like burnt, yeah, but it's not like painful. So at this point, everyone's like, wait a minute, does he have like ridiculous raw strength? And even Endeavor is looking at the raw strength thinking, oh my god, this is kind of like All Might. Like when someone's hitting All Might levels, that is just ridiculous. It's a force to be reckoned with. But Dr. Ujiko explains that it's not All Might level, like they couldn't reach that far with the experimentation, but it's still pretty damn powerful. So Shigaraki with no quirk is decking a lot of heroes. That's what it seems like. And he pretty much proves that because he knocks the living daylights out of Endeavor and Yukio all in one straight path. And it seems like Shigaraki is essentially like a perfected Nomu. Like he has the strength of that type of Nomu. So yeah, it's gonna take a lot to knock him down. And it's crazy because when Shigaraki did that punch, he stood on Endeavor, he put his hand up, he's like, oh, it's meant to be like this, right? How could he stand on a man's body and do that? Like, wow. Shigaraki is turning into one of my favorite characters in this whole series. He is such a G right now. Like, he is on boss levels. So the people that Shigaraki was calling come, and it turns out that these guys are pretty strong ass Nomu. So luckily they're not high end Nomu, because if they were high end Nomu, everyone's dead. Like, let's be real, everyone's dead. But these Nomu are pretty much what they're called, well, the doctor puts it as near high-end Nomu. So they're almost there, but they didn't have time to learn how to have cognition. So they're almost high-end Nomu. Those are still pretty damn strong Nomu, don't get it twisted, but at least they're not like the peak form of Nomu, or else people would be dead. I mean, heroes are gonna die anyway, but like if they were high-end Nomu, it's game over. So Gran Torino takes Deku and Bakugo far away from Shigaraki because he's telling them that if Shigaraki gets one for all, it's over. He is going to become the guy, like he's a monster. And obviously the kids are worrying about Aizawa because Shigaraki is going to target Aizawa because he's the one that's in his way. And he's gonna get to him because he's way stronger than everybody else. So yeah, they're worried as hell, and every other hero that's there is looking at Shigaraki like, how can we not beat one dude? It turns out that Shigaraki really knows how to use his quirk, because what he did to get those near high-end Nomu is that he sent an electrical pulse to them so that they could wake up, and also he used his decay quirk to make sure that they didn't get crumbled. He is fluid with his quirk usage, and that is incredibly scary because he has a hell of a lot of quirks and he knows how to use them so well. So at this point, after all the commotion that's going on and the Nomus are out and everyone's just like, what the hell do we do now? Shigaraki charges straight at Eraser And man, at this point, Eraser's seen his life flash before his eyes, and I was getting scared. I think Eraser will die, but seeing him look at his life just flash, and I was just like, oh my god, this is getting really deep and intense. At this point, luckily, Deku comes in with his signature flying smash shoot punch, and he just knocks him. And Deku and Bakugo are just like, alright, cool, it's our turn to fight now. We're gonna fight Shigaraki, and that's how the chapter ends. Oh my days, 277 cannot come quick enough. So my thoughts and impressions of these two chapters is that heat. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about them. There's not been a chapter that has been less than at least a 9.5 out of 10 recently. So it's just been straight up fire, and wow, yet again, I'm gonna say this, I cannot believe we're getting an arc this good right now in My Hero Academia, and I'm all for it. What do I think is gonna happen in the next couple chapters? Alright, Aizawa's dead. I think that's definitely gonna happen because Shigaraki's like, I do not want to see this man erase my quirk again. He needs to go. I'm gonna strangle him if I have to or something. Like, I think Aizawa's dead. Also, I think that all the other kids are gonna meet up with Shigaraki at this point. I think you're gonna see Uraka come in, Todoroki come in. I won't even be surprised if they come in the next chapter, to be honest with you. Another thing probably will happen is that the next chapter will go back to the base of the Liberation Front, so we're gonna actually see what's going on there and how they're going to move to Shigaraki. So I think that's gonna happen because it'll allow you to take a break off the craziness that's happening in the hospital battleground area. But man, I really need the next chapter, man, and this arc is so heat. So anyway, those are my thoughts and impressions, and basically my review or discussion of chapter 275 and 76 of My Hero Academia. Do you like what you're reading? Do you not like what you're reading? Let me know in the comment section. I'm open to discussion. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe to my channel for more content on pop culture and entertainment. Please like this video, and I'll see you soon, and have a great day, and have a plus ultra day. All right, see ya.